More than a dozen multi-tower skyscraper projects are on the drawing board for Ottawa, and together they could change the city's skyline from one end to the other. The plans could bring towers of 30 and even 40 stories to Kanata and Orléans, and line train routes with dense neighborhoods packed with thousands of housing units, 15 high-rise megaprojects that could reshape Ottawa's skyline. 265 Centrum. The site just east of Place d'Orléans shopping center is within walking distance of a planned train station, and right in the middle of a city-designated development hub. 2 of the towers would be purely residential, while the third also has office and ground-floor retail. Together they would contain more than 1,000 housing units, including some townhouse-like homes. After that, the group will determine whether the units will be condos or rentals. Kanata North, Main Developments is proposing a 5.5 hectare project at March Road and Terry Fox Drive that would transform an area of Kanata North now spotted with low to mid-rise tech complexes. A design from SVN Architects foresees 5 towers reaching up to 30 stories, plus several mid-rise buildings, with 2,100 housing units in total. It also includes a public park, plazas, bike paths, retail at ground level, and 2 office buildings. One of the few proposals located far from any planned train station. The Kanata North project lies alongside a bus rapid transit corridor planned for March Road, where the city is looking to direct mixed-use development to enliven the existing tech district. Lansdowne 2.0. 3 high-rise towers are an integral part of the plan to finance a $332 million rebuild of the Northside Stadium stands at Lansdowne Park. The city is looking to sell air rights over the stands that would permit towers of 40, 34, and 29 stories. 2000 City Park. Ottawa-based Colonnade Bridgeport is applying for a zoning bylaw change that could allow it to build as many as 8 towers with an estimated 2,250 housing units near the 417-174 split, with a first stage including 5 towers ranging from 20 to 30 stories including about 1,200 units. The site is a short walk from Blair train station. 829 Carling Avenue. This is the only single tower project on the list. Claridge is proposing to build another high-rise across the street from its existing Icon Tower at the corner of Preston and Carling. The project was initially slated to reach 60 stories, but the current concept before the city is for a 40-story tower. It could conceivably reach above 40 stories as the proposal continues to navigate the city's approval process. 400 Coventry. Montreal-based group Orative is seeking to build 7 towers, between 18 and 30 stories near the baseball stadium in Overbrook, just north of the Queensway. The development would accommodate 1,768 housing units, plus retail, a public park, and a new road cutting through the site, just west of St. Lawrence Shopping Center. The area is now mostly commercial and industrial, but the city has designated it a hub to promote dense development. Former Greyhound Station. Local developer Bridgeport is proposing to build a trio of high-rise towers on the site of the now demolished Greyhound terminal on Catherine Street. It is applying for a zoning change since height limits are currently set at 25 stories in the area, which is currently surrounded by low-rise buildings. The plan includes a 26-story tower to the east and a 36-story tower to the west, with a 40-story one in the middle, all on 6-story podiums. The plan would provide about 1,000 housing units, as well as a public park and a pedestrian path cutting through the long block. 1047 Richmond Road. Fengate Development Holdings is proposing to build 3 towers of 36, 38, and 40 stories, overlooking the Ottawa River near Lincoln Heights. The plan foresees more than 1,300 housing units, mostly with 1 or 2 bedrooms, plus commercial space on the ground floor. It would be located right across the street from the planned New Orchard train station, in an area already packed with apartment buildings. Still, the proposed development would dwarf its neighbors and tower over a low-rise development to the south. 665 Albert Street. Dream Asset Management, one of the companies behind the Zibai project along the Ottawa River, is looking to build a 2-tower high-rise complex on Le Breton Flats right beside Pimisi train station. As proposed, the 31 and 36-story towers are among the more visually striking buildings currently pitched for Ottawa. They would include 607 rental units with 41% deemed affordable, as well as retail, a community hub, and a park. 2026 Scott. Hopner Holdings is applying to build 2 40-story towers right across from the proposed Westboro LRT station. The plan has changed twice before, from a 3-tower project pitched in 2022 to a 2-tower design with a link connecting 2 skyscrapers. The current design dispenses with the link, but retains a podium design that steps down toward a low-rise neighborhood to the south, revealing terraces open to the sky. The project aims to transform the site into a bustling urban hub with a landscaped pedestrian plaza. 2 Robinson. This 4-tower development in the southernmost corner of Sandy Hill, near Lees, is interesting in part for the history of the site. Its original 5-tower design has now been revised to 2 32-story and 2 28-story towers. The project would provide 1,440 housing units, some retail space, and a public park with an amphitheater seating area. A short walk to Lees train station. The site is again in a hub area where the city is looking to concentrate development. Standard Bread Building. CLV Group Developments is looking to preserve Hindenburg's Standard Bread Building, while adding 3 towers of 35, 33 and 30 stories. The current plan involves 846 residential units, office space, and 2 small public green spaces. Retail would face Gladstone Avenue and a new pedestrian street parallel to the rail line. Each of the towers would sit on 4 or 5-story red brick and concrete podiums. Black metal panels are intended to reflect the industrial character of the surrounding area. The towers themselves would be mostly gray and white, though the tallest one would have hints of red. 2946 Baseline Road. Baseline is set to become a magnet for high-rise development under a slew of projects now up for approval, with many centered near Maryville Road. But one of the most ambitious projects is further west, with towers of 32 and 28 stories proposed near the Queensway Carleton Hospital, along with a squatter 9-story building. The height requires a zoning change, which is expected to come before the city's Planning and Housing Committee in September. The project would provide 700 dwelling units. It includes a public park, a small number of townhouses, and retail. 7-80 Woodridge. Ferguslia Properties is looking to add towers of 40 and 37 stories near the site of its existing Acora Village development, right next to Bayshore Shopping Centre. It would create up to 584 residential units, along with retail at ground level and an open space with a splash pad and public art. It abuts a site where a project to construct 2 slightly shorter towers is also under consideration. 1640-1660 Carling Avenue. Ryokan Holdings is pitching 6 buildings up to 40 stories on the site of the Canadian Tire building on Carling Avenue. It's expected to hold 1,715 dwelling units and would include a new public park and ground floor retail. The tallest towers, at 40, 37, 30, and 22 stories, are proposed as rental buildings. There's also a 20-story tower anticipated to hold condos and a 9-story retirement home, but it's unclear exactly what the buildings will look like. With the current design little more than a featureless shell of 6 towers, the developer is seeking a zoning bylaw change to increase the maximum height for the site. Do you think it could reshape Ottawa's skyline? Share your opinion with us in the comments. And here we reach the end of the video. Don't forget to share the video and subscribe to the channel.